Hi dear students, welcome back to biology class. Let us continue with chapter 5, that is morphology of flowering plants. In this video, let us discuss about the placentation and types of placentation. What is placentation? The arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. In the previous video, I explained you the structure of carpel. A typical carpel, it consists of stigma, style and ovary. Ovary is the basal part which consists of ovules. These ovules, they are attached to wall of the ovary by a cushion-like structure called placenta. Okay. So, the arrangement of ovules within the ovary is known as placentation. Mainly there are 5 types of placentation have been studied. The first one is the marginal placentation, second one is exile placentation, third one is parietal placentation, fourth one is free central placentation, fifth one is basal placentation. Now let us discuss in detail about all 5 types of placentation. The first one is marginal placentation. In marginal placentation, the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of the ovary and ovules are borne on this ridge forming 2 rows. Look at this. This is the longitudinal section of carpel of pea plant. Okay. So here this is known as ventral suture. On this ventral suture, a placenta is present and on this placenta the ovules are born. Here they have mentioned it as a seed because after fertilization these ovules will develop into seeds. Okay. So these are ovules. After fertilization these ovules will develop into seeds. Okay. And this is pericarp. Here this is the transverse section of the carpel of pea plant. This is ovule. Okay. This is ovule and this is placenta. Then this is locule or chamber. So here you need to remember the definition. What is marginal placentation? That is, in marginal placentation the placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of the ovary and ovules are borne on this ridge forming 2 rows. The second one is exile placentation. The exile placentation, the ovules are attached into the multilocular ovary. Dear students, you might have seen the transverse section of lady's finger at your home. There you can find the 5 locules. Look at this image. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. And there are 5 locules are there and this is the central axis. To this central axis these seeds are attached. The seeds develops only after the fertilization. When you take the transverse section of carpel of this lady's finger or hibiscus flower or tomato or lemon, the gynoecium or carpel of these 3 plants, there we can observe the exile placentation. As I said, in the exile placentation, as the 5 carpels they fuse to form one central axis. Okay. And along this central axis the ovules are attached with the help of placenta. Depending on the number of carpels fused, we can find the number of the locules. For example, in case of China rose, that is hibiscus, there are 5 carpels, hence we can find 5 locules. Whereas in some other plants, in this diagram there are only 3 locules. It means there are 3 carpels. Okay. And here there are 5 locules. It means there are 5 carpels. The third one is parietal placentation. In parietal placentation, the ovules develops on the inner wall of the ovary on peripheral part. The good example that I can give you here is the cucumber. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೌತೆಕಾಯಿನ ರೌಂಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಏನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ರೌಂಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಸೀಡ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತ. ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಬೆಂಡೆಕಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೀಡ್ಸು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಸೌತೆಕಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಡ್ಸು ಈ ಇಮೇಜಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ಪೆರಿಫೆರಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು, ಓವ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ they are attached to peripheral, they are attached to peripheral wall with the help of through placenta. Okay, so this is known as parietal placentation. Here the ovary is one chambered but it becomes two chambered due to the formation of false septum, that is in case of mustard. So how can you define the parietal placentation? In parietal placentation the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or on peripheral part. In most of the flowers the ovary is one chambered but it becomes two chambered due to formation of a false septum. This diagram, it is very clear. This diagram, it is very clear. Here the ovary is one chambered, there is no formation of false septum here, and these are ovules and they are attached to peripheral part. This image that I have taken it from your textbook, and this is one chambered, one chambered or one locule. Okay, and these are ovules and these ovules are attached to peripheral wall through placenta. Fourth one is free central. Here the ovules born on the central axis and there is no formation of septa. Such type of placentation is known as free central placentation. Here you need to understand the difference between free central placentation and exile placentation. In the exile placentation there will be a formation of central axis and also formation of locules. Okay, depending on the number of carpels we can identify the number of locules, or depending on the number of locules we can decide the number of carpels. But in case of free central placentation there is only one locule but still there is a formation of central axis. To this central axis the ovules are attached through placenta. This type of the free central type of placentation can be seen in dianthus and primrose. Next one is the basal placentation. Your name itself suggests that the ovules are attached to base of the or basal wall of the ovary. Here the placenta develops from the base of the ovary and single ovule is attached to it. This type of placentation can be seen in sunflower and marigold. Look at this image. It's showing the seeds of sunflower. This is the pericarp, that is the wall of the fruit is known as pericarp. Okay, and this is a seed and it is attached to base of the fruit. Okay, so here only one locule and ovule is attached to base of the ovary. This type of placentation is known as basal placentation. So this video is very important. Here the frequently asked question from this part will be like this. For 1 mark, what is placentation can be asked, and for 3 mark, what is placentation, mention the types of placentation that you have studied. For 5 mark, what is placentation, explain any two types of placentation that you have studied, or explain the types of placentation that you have studied. It can be asked like this. Okay. Thank you.